If you have just $10,000 saved, you might already be richer than half of America. Yeah, let that sink in. Because right now, someone watching this is making $80,000 a year, driving a nice car, eating out every weekend, and still living paycheck to paycheck. So the real question is, are you actually rich or just looking rich? And the answer might make you uncomfortable. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly where you stand, not based on what you feel, but based on reality. And here's the twist. Most people who think they're doing okay financially are not even close, but a small group of people who feel average are quietly winning. So where do you fall? Let's find out. Picture this. Two people. Person A makes $120,000 a year. Nice apartment, new car, vacations twice a year, latest iPhone, eats out often. Person B makes $55,000 a year. Simple apartment, drives a used car, rarely eats out, saves consistently. Now, who is richer? Most people would say person A. But here's the truth. No one tells you. Income is not wealth. Income is what you earn. Wealth is what you keep. And that changes everything. Because person A might be spending $118,000 a year with credit card debt, car payments, and zero savings. While person B might have $25,000 saved, no debt, and investments quietly growing. One looks rich, the other is rich. And this is where most people get trapped. It's called lifestyle inflation. The more you earn, the more you spend, you upgrade your life. Instead of upgrading your net worth, you get a raise, you get a better car, you get a bonus, you take a vacation, you earn more, but somehow you never feel richer. Why? Because your expenses grow just as fast as your income, sometimes even faster. And the scariest part, it feels normal. Everyone around you is doing the same thing, so you don't question it. You just keep running on a treadmill that never stops. But here's the moment that changes everything. When you realize wealth is not about how much you make, it's about how much you own, minus what you owe. That's your net worth. And once you understand that, you start seeing money very differently. Now let's get real. Let's talk about actual numbers, because this is where things get shocking. The average net worth in America is around $1 million. Sounds impressive, right? But here's the catch. That number is completely misleading because it includes billionaires. Take a few extremely rich people, mix them with millions of average people, and suddenly the average looks way higher than reality. So instead, we look at the median. The median is the middle point. Half of people have more, half have less. And the median net worth in America, around $192,000. Yeah, not a million, not even close. Now let's break it down by age, because this is where it gets even more interesting. If you're in your 20s, the median net worth is around $10,000. That's it. So if you have $5,000 saved, you're close to average. If you have $20,000, you're already ahead of most people your age. Now think about that, because social media makes it feel like everyone in their 20s is rich. Nice cars, fancy apartments, expensive trips. But behind the scenes, debt, credit cards, student loans, leasing everything. So what you're seeing is not wealth, it's spending. Now let's move to your 30s, median net worth, around $90,000. Still lower than most people expect. So if you're in your 30s with $50,000 saved, you're not behind. You're actually right in the middle. If you have $150,000, you're doing better than most. Now your 40s, median net worth jumps to around $160,000 to $200,000. This is where people should be building serious wealth. But many are still catching up. Why? Because their 20s and 30s were spent upgrading lifestyle instead of building assets. Now, 50s and beyond, median net worth crosses $250,000, sometimes higher, but even then, a huge number of people are not financially secure. They still rely on their paycheck. They still worry about retirement. So let me ask you something. Where do you stand? Not compared to influencers, not compared to celebrities, but compared to reality. Because reality is very different from what you see online. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. Because what I'm about to say, most people don't want to hear. America is drowning in debt, credit card debt, student loans, car loans, mortgages. The average American carries tens of thousands of dollars in debt. And many people are just one missed paycheck away from a financial crisis. But from the outside, they look fine. They look successful. Because modern life is designed to make you look rich, even when you're not. You can finance almost anything. Car, monthly payment, phone, monthly payment, furniture, monthly payment, even vacations, monthly payment. So you can build a lifestyle without actually building wealth. And over time, those payments quietly eat your future, because every dollar going to debt is a dollar not going to your freedom. And that's why so many people feel stuck. They're earning money, but they don't own their life. Now let's simplify everything. Let's break wealth into levels. 5 levels. And by the end of this, you'll know exactly where you are. Level 1, broke. This is where expenses are higher than income, no savings, high stress, one emergency, and everything falls apart. Level 2, stable. You can pay your bills, maybe save a little, but you're still dependent on your paycheck. You miss 1 month of income. Things get tight. Level 3, comfortable. You have savings, some investments. You can handle emergencies. You're not stressed about money every day, but you still need to work. Level 4, wealthy. Your investments are growing. Your assets are working for you. You have options. You're not tied to a job you hate. Money is no longer your main problem. Level 5, financially free. This is the ultimate goal. Your money works harder than you do. You can stop working and still live your life. Time becomes your biggest asset. Now here's the question. Which level are you in? And more importantly, are you moving up or staying stuck? Because most people stay in level 2 and 3 their entire life. Not because they can't grow, but because they never change how they think about money. And this is where things get emotional, because money is not just numbers, it's psychology. It's how you feel. It's how you compare. And today, comparison is everywhere. You open Instagram, someone is on vacation, you open YouTube. Someone is making millions, you open TikTok. Someone your age is driving a Lamborghini. And slowly, you start feeling behind, even if you're doing fine, even if you're above average, because your brain is comparing your reality to someone else's highlight reel. And that creates a dangerous illusion. You feel poor, even when you're not. You feel stuck, even when you're progressing. And that feeling can push people into bad decisions, overspending, taking on debt, trying to catch up to a life that isn't even real. Because here's the truth. Even people who are wealthy often feel poor. Why? Because there's always someone richer, always someone ahead. So if your definition of rich is based on comparison, you will never feel rich, no matter how much money you have. So let's bring this all together, because this is the part that changes how you see everything. Being rich is not about hitting a number. It's not $100,000, not $1 million, not even $10 million, because there are people making millions who are still stressed, still trapped, still unhappy. Real wealth is freedom. Freedom to say no, freedom to walk away, freedom to live life on your terms. And that doesn't always require millions. Sometimes it requires discipline, awareness, and making smarter decisions than the average person. Because remember, the average person is not financially free. So if you follow the average path, you get the average result. And now you know what that looks like. So maybe you're not behind. Maybe you've just been measuring yourself against the wrong standard. So here's what I want you to do. Pause for a second. Be honest with yourself. Not about your income, not about your lifestyle, but about your net worth, your habits, your direction. Are you building wealth or just building an image? because one of those leads to freedom. The other leads to a lifetime of stress, and the choice is yours. If this opened your eyes even a little, hit subscribe because we were just getting started, and comment below. Where do you think you stand right now? Be honest, because the moment you face reality is the moment everything starts to change.